All right, guys, we're back. I know you thought you'd never see me again, but here I am in the flesh. New NBA edition. The NBA Finals are upon us. As we record this, the NBA Finals start tomorrow. Jesus, yeah. So there's a lot of things to discuss, man. The people have not heard from us since the Western Conference or East, or since the conference finals started. So let's go ahead and get it out the way. I guess we got to talk about the Western Conference Finals and what happened and what didn't happen. The Denver Nuggets swept the LA Lakers 4-2-0. This completely took me by shock. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've said all year that I respect Denver. I think Denver's a good team, and I think that this was a tough matchup for us. I mean, even before the series started, the thing that I was most concerned about was Jamal Murray. Like, I was just like, we pretty much don't have anything for Jokic. Like, there's not really anything we can do to slow him down. Like, because I figured with Jokic, we would just try to double, which I hated because exactly what I thought would happen happened. Like, he would pass it to KCP, and oh my god, I felt like KCP was fucking Steph Curry out there. This nigga just would not miss.
He's not the only one. I mean, Michael
No,
Porter Jr.
yeah,
didn't miss either. It felt like
yeah. It felt like none of their shooters missed, but
Jokic from 30 feet.
Yeah,
It's like in your eyes, like what the hell, man? He had like five of those.
Yeah, but like going into the series, I knew that that was a strength of theirs. I was like, their entire identity is Nikola Jokic and him getting his teammates involved. So I didn't want to double Jokic. I was like, let's just let Jokic get 50 on us, and if they beat us that way, they beat us. But we doubled. But to me, Jokic had a great series, but Jamal Murray averaged 33 points a game in that series. Like, I don't know if like what he did to us is getting talked about enough. Like, he fucking destroyed us. I mean, he was like demoralizing. Like, it felt like every time he shot the ball, it was going in, especially in like the third and fourth quarters. Um, and it's weird because in most games starting off, he was bricking. Like, I mean, we weren't necessarily leaving him open, but we were blowing coverages to the point where he was just getting open shots or good looks and he was missing. But then, I mean, the explosion happened. I mean, he just killed us, man. He was, to me, he was the biggest problem in the series. I mean, obviously, Jokic is like he averaged what, 27, 14, and 12 or something ridiculous too. But I mean, we just couldn't really overcome that, man. Every single game was tight. Like, I think it was like a 4 or 5 point margin per game, which is competitive. I mean, that's what you want in a conference finals, but we couldn't put him away. Like, uh, and it's funny, all this news about LeBron is coming out about how he made knee surgery and he was playing hurt. I mean, anybody that kind of watched basketball could understand that he was not 100%. Like, he was, I mean, what we were seeing was more than just age. Like, it was clearly something else going on with LeBron where he just could not move that well. And AD played well in game one as far as the 40 points and the rebounds, but I mean, he pretty much got dominated in his matchup with Jokic, but that's not really a fault of AD because Jokic is just that great. Like, he's just that fucking good. I mean, he's literally
Statistically, AD had a pretty good series. He was at what,
I
like
know.
26 and 12. Like he was
Mhm.
good
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah. But if my point is, if you look at his matchup, I mean, it's kind
I
of a
mean, but
wash.
like a
And that's
couple
not
minutes
what we
ago, you
want.
said Jokic wasn't the problem.
He wasn't. Jamal Murray was. I'm just saying, like, what I'm trying to
I
say
think
right
coming
now
into
is
this
that
series, right,
the
we kind of
Lakers,
hoped that AD and Jokic would kind of cancel each other out, right?
right?
That
Yeah.
just did not happen.
No,
It did not
exactly.
happen. The
That's
scale went way too far. So like that was a problem. Like
yeah.
in the first game, Jokic had like 30 and 20 in the first half.
Hmm.
So
Oh
like
yeah.
we had to get AD off of him because it was just AD was getting ate up and it wasn't doing no good. Now everything, we stood a little better when AD got off of him and we tried to get other forwards and other players guarding Jokic, and that's why we had to double team a little bit. You don't want to throw LeBron out there trying to guard Jokic all game or Rui, so we had to
Yeah.
throw him some help. So it was just a disaster from like the beginning with Jokic, and then we kind of threw our hands up with that, but we couldn't stop anybody else. Jamal Murray, like you said, I mean, he was more deadly than Steph. Of course, Steph, we focus your whole defense on Steph.
Yep.
We have to focus mostly our defense on Jokic, and Murray was just too good. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, I mean, their size. Like I mean, Michael Porter Jr. You put like you kind of you feel like you can maybe hide some guys on him because he's not like a guy that's just going to run out there and be aggressive and take it to the
Mm-hmm.
basket all the time. But like you got to get somebody tall on him because they don't see him. I mean, he don't see like he did not see Austin Reeves on him or
Nope.
Dennis Schroeder or whoever we tried to put on him that was not at least like 6'8". And then once he gets going, he's like basically Klay Thompson up there, like 6'10" Klay Thompson. So he felt like he didn't miss, and then KCP he had foul trouble one game, but otherwise he was doing his boys wrong, man. I couldn't believe he was doing us like that.
Yeah, he was a sniper
and
out
then
there.
the Bruce Browns was making shots. It was just like we couldn't stop the others. And
Yep.
you know, I was a little worried about this team because of their size and their chemistry, the way they play. It's kind of like a mix between like the Grizzlies and some of their size and grit, and like the Warriors with some of how they move and you know the beautiful game type thing, and their chemistry. So I think even before when we previewed the series, I was like kind of tongue in cheek, you know, saying that I was a little worried about that, and it's kind of like the one series I was like, I'm not that confident in because they are pretty damn good. They were the best team all year.
Did you think we would get swept though?
I didn't think we would get swept, but like you said, these are 4 close games. I mean, I feel like after we lost that game 2, where we were up like 15 in the fourth quarter, and Jamal Murray just went crazy on us, and you know, that kind of felt like we lost the series right there. You have to win that game, and especially if you don't have home court advantage. And then in game 3, he came out and had 30 in the first half. It was just like, what the fuck, man? So like, you know. You know, all in all, I was still proud of the Lakers season because how we started with the Westbrook nightmare and everything, 2-10, in 13th place by the trade deadline, 13th place with like, you know, a month and a half left in the season. And they made quite a push. I mean, these guys were in playoff mode for 2-3 months. So kind of sad how it ended, but, you know, still you could hang our heads high. It was a good season from where it started. And the Nuggets, give them their props, man. They should totally, I mean, they look like the best team in the league. I mean, to skunk us that bad, I mean, yeah, they were serious. I mean, we were even giving them props when they was up on Phoenix like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's pointing out the flaws in Phoenix, and that's kind of been the thing. Nobody really talks about the Nuggets.
As Mike Malone hates that.
Oh yeah, he hates that. He's the main guy who's like out there talking all this shit, which, you know, okay, you winning, you deserve it. But despite that, I mean, I kind of like their team. I mean, I like how they play. They got guys that just grind out there. I got a lot of respect for Jokic now. I know we were hard on him, 2-time MVP, not winning nothing. Go ahead, win this ring. I mean, he's going to be probably in line to win more MVPs in the future because he's something else. Like, he's leveled up his game to like incredible levels. The way he gets up and down the floor for such a big boy, you know, you feel like he's going to get every rebound.
Yep.
He's still not like a great defender, but he's passable. He blocked AD a few times. I mean, if he got help on his lineup, he can, you know, be an active participant. And then he's just absolutely dominant on offense. He makes everything on all 3 levels. You know, obviously a great passer. So he's a one of a kind, man. I've never seen nobody that could just do everything like this. And it's sometimes it'd be ugly, but you make it look like it's just he practiced some shots.
So let me ask you this. So here we are. The Lakers are out of the playoffs. The Denver Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals. So, you know, LeBron announced after the game that he was thinking about retiring, essentially. What's your take on that? And how much of a power play do you think it is? And how much of him actually just thinking like, yeah, I'm going to need surgery. I'm going to be out. And do I want to rehab? Do I want to start my season at 39 and, you know, try this again? Like, what do you think? What do you think about the announcement? Let's just leave it at that.
I think, you know, he's getting on in his career. He's getting close, man. Once you start putting stuff out there like that, that means you're really thinking about it. So
yeah,
I don't think he's gonna retire this time, but you know, he's obviously got he's thinking about other things. And I kind of get it, man. You know, when you've been the best in the world for like, you know, for most of your life at this thing, you know, and you starting to slip, you starting to, you know, these young guys are just getting better and better. And it's like, dang, like, you know, when you think you got a good team, you think you got a contender, you couldn't even win one game against these guys. It's like you can only muster up one like 40-point game, one big game, and you still lost. You put everything into that game played 48 minutes.
Yep.
And they still lost. So I'm sure it was like pretty disappointing and kind of hit them just like, make him feel like, what's the point? And maybe wondering if he can win another championship. But I'm sure as time goes on, you get the fire again, start playing, watching the Suns and AAU and playing some pickup and stuff. I'm sure he'll miss the game and be right back at it. But I don't think it's a power play at all, because I don't really know how he has much leverage to have a power play. If he's gonna retire, they just be like, okay, well, let's blow up the team and then whatever, or do whatever. And if he decides to stay, they're gonna try to compete. With the new CBA, I just don't see Jeannie Buss like being like a number one, spender. So now this, like, if you go past like a certain threshold in the luxury tax, you can't get a mid-level exception. You can't do buyouts.
Wow.
I think you lose a draft pick. It's just like it's almost like a hard cap. It's like basically once you get past a certain point, you better win the championship that year, or else you basically are strapped for not being able to do anything. So I feel like a lot of these teams, like the Warriors and stuff, they're gonna be in trouble. Clippers. I just don't think the Lakers are gonna be able to get like a third star. So unless that person is taking a huge pay cut.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of leads into my next topic here. The fact is, the Lakers offseason began as soon as we lost game 4. We've got to pay Austin Reeves. We got to pay Rui Hachimura. I think both of us are in agreement in that.
D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, stop. Okay, so, what can we do? Because the Denver Nuggets aren't going anywhere. Whether they win or lose the NBA Finals, we're going to have to essentially beat them to get to another championship, which, according to LeBron, it has to be this next year, because he's saying that he's not trying to roll out here when he's 40. And look, I totally get it. Like, first of all, if LeBron literally does retire, like we never see him play again, like what a career. I mean, thank you for winning us a championship. Like you're literally a GOAT. I can't say you're the GOAT, but you're literally a GOAT. I mean, for my entire life, you've literally been dominating the game of basketball. So thank you. But we need help. Like we need to get bigger. We need to get bigger on the wings.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What do you see going into the summer?
Well, I was going to flip it back to you. Like, how far away do you think the Lakers are? I mean, you made it to the Western Conference Finals on basically a whole new team with no training camp. I mean, I don't think they can necessarily just run it back and expect.
I don't think so.
To be the championship favorites or anything, but they could probably be in the mix, even just keeping the same team.
There's this notion on Lakers Twitter, which is I hate Lakers Twitter, by the way. It's so like fucking toxic, but there's this notion that like we can just run it back and like we can win the championship, and that's just so unrealistic. It's so unrealistic. Like I really think that it's crazy. Like we won a ring 3 years ago, and we had a great formula. Like we had 2 bigs. We had AD at the 4 roaming. We had a lot of 3-and-D guys, or specialists, I'll call them. And we had LeBron James. Like, I don't know why we decided to like just completely blow it up after we won that year. But we did. And we haven't really recovered since.
So do you like the idea of, okay, obviously re-signing Austin, probably some, big deal. I mean, as big as he can get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rui, a good deal. I don't think he's gonna get no max or nothing crazy from anybody, so I'm not worried about that. But I'd like to not pay him $20 million a year.
We're going to.
That's probably hopefully the most we pay. But we'll see. I'd like to have him back because he's a skilled player with size and a young guy. I feel like he's got a lot of untapped potential. Obviously, Austin Reeves. I mean, he's got to come back, right? He's our third best player in the playoffs.
D'Lo.
Well, okay, so let's talk about the D'Lo conversation.
Okay.
Are you just out? You don't want him back, or like is it like a number?
I'm about to say it's a number for me. Like there's no way that we can pay him what other teams are going to offer him. Like I think D'Lo's
who's going to offer him big money?
Somebody will, bro. Like the Knicks, the Knicks.
They got Jalen Brunson, bro. Like they don't need D'Angelo
or the Nets. Like there'll be some fucking. There's 30 teams, bro, and like these niggas are desperate for a D'Angelo Russell. I promise you. Like somebody's gonna be willing to pay him 150 million, which is ridiculous.
I don't see that at all.
Bruh.
I could maybe see somebody giving him like a 4-year, 100 million, but I don't see nothing. I don't see him getting paid more than 25 a year.
I don't want to pay him that.
So,
I don't. I do
well,
not want
he's
to
coming
pay
off making
that.
30 right now. This
I
past year.
yeah.
You think he gonna take like a 20-year deal, 20 million deal?
No. But that's what I'm saying. Like which is my point. I am not paying D'Lo over 18 a year. That's just how I feel about him. Maybe 15.
Wow.
Uh, so if he doesn't want the money, fine, leave, and let's figure something else out at the point guard position because
Would you be willing to roll with Austin Reeves as basically a pseudo point guard and then get a two? Like if they were somehow get like a Zach LaVine or something,
100%,
or a Bradley Beal. Well, Bradley Beal too expensive, but probably Zach LaVine
100%.
too expensive too. But just theoretically, some guy out there.
That would be preferable, actually. Yes. Yep. If we just said bounce D'Lo or we do a sign and trade, whatever, and we slid Austin Reeves, got a two guard, Bron AD, let's get a big, Brook Lopez. For some reason, like Lakers Twitter really wants Nas Reed. Like this nigga's like 6'9". Like he's a shooter, but
He's pretty good though. Yeah,
he is, and he brings a lot of energy. But I
yeah.
want he's not doing nothing with Nikola Jokic. So
Well, yeah, he don't help with that problem, not at all.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the problem I'm trying to solve in off season. I'm trying to get bodies like, bro. Do you remember like after Game 3, like Twitter was trying to hype up Mo Bamba, like, bro,
Oh,
I
because they
was
said he was coming
rolling.
back. They said
Yeah, like
Mo Bamba would get
eight
posted up straight.
alive.
Everyone, he would like back him down straight to the rim and dunk on him, like or do
Yeah.
something on him. Like probably wouldn't dunk on him, but
Yeah, he
yeah,
would. Yeah, I mean, they have fucking Woj tweeting about this and Dave McMenamin. I'm just like, bro, like, what are we doing? Mo Bamba, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, look, I mean, I don't know who's out there. I mean, I know Brook Lopez is like the guy that you know, like he's probably like the most requested guy
he'd
in
be
free
perfect.
agency right now. I think he would too, but will Brook Lopez come and will Darvin Ham present to him, okay, you're starting at the 5 and AD's at the 4?
That's true.
Because
Ham like to play small.
he does. So like is Brook Lopez going to be cool playing 20 minutes a game? I mean, that's something that, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Give him some Disneyland stock. He's a big Disneyland guy.
Yeah,
Disney
he
World
is. Take him to every Star Wars premiere,
guy.
everything. Like just hook him up. But yeah, I mean, like I don't know, man. I mean,
We
the
got
Lakers
plenty of time to
definitely-
talk the Lakers off
we-
season. We
yeah,
gonna have a
let's
lot
move-
going on for sure. It's gonna be busy.
Let's move on. Let's talk about the other game or the other series that just ended. It took fucking forever. The Celtics and the Heat. Yeah, it's so funny. I said Heat in 5, and I was not joking. When they were up 3-0, I was like, I was so ecstatic. Like I was like, let's go, baby. Like Heat in 4, even better. And then we
What
had
made
game
you really
7.
say that?
I mean, it was more so about the Celtics than it was the Heat, if I'm being real. I just don't believe in this Celtics team based on what they've shown in the first 2 rounds. Now, I will say, once it got to game 7, I was like, okay. I mean, it was a great run, Miami, but it's over.
They looked like they were just out of gas by then, but
Yeah, I mean, but the Celtics came out there and just played fucking horrible in game 7. So, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I thought Miami was a decent matchup for Tatum and Brown, just because they have a lot of guys they can throw at them, including Jimmy Butler, and Bam sporadically. But it's funny, what really fucked them up was a 2-3 zone. Like it's like it's this crazy 2-3 zone Miami runs that like Boston they just couldn't outscore against, or they would just jack up 53s a game. And
that same zone's been effective for them all playoffs.
It really has.
Killed Milwaukee too.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting like how bad Tatum was in some of these games and how bad Jaylen Brown. Like they're gonna have to pay him close to $300 million. I mean, he made second team All NBA, so he's eligible for a supermax. And holy shit! I mean, I guess he's lucky Danny
Still
Ainge
can't
is
dribble.
there. Yeah. He's definitely lucky that Danny Ainge is in Utah, because Danny Ainge is he's not doing it. But I guess Brad Stevens. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, what's your takeaway from this, man? Because like we've got guys like Caleb Martin. We've got
I
guys.
say Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent,
Yeah,
Duncan
Jimmy
Robinson,
Butler,
Max
Duncan
Strus,
Robinson,
these
and Mac.
undrafted
Yeah, like
motherfuckers just be
Hooping,
I
man.
mean, we were happy about Austin Reeves, our one undrafted star. The Heat just pulled these guys out the woodwork, man. It's crazy. Because Jimmy Butler, I mean, he had a good series, but it's not like he was dominant all games. He kind of had a lull there in the middle of the series.
Right.
Bam didn't really play well offensively at all most of the series. Kyle Lowry didn't show up until Game 7. It was just like it was weird. Like Miami the way they blew them out in Game 3 in Boston, it just felt like they took their soul. It was just over.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of just laid around and I guess rested and wasn't playing for real. And they're probably lucky Jason Tatum twisted his ankle like the first play of the game in Game 7 because we didn't mention that. That's a big factor. But it's crazy. I feel like whenever Miami is counted out, they level up. They play hard.
Mm-hmm.
So are they about to win the championship? Because nobody's picking them.
I was just gonna say, man. I mean, it feels like destiny. Like it just does. Like he in the first round, they beat the Bucks. I mean, although there's an asterisk by because Giannis missed the first 3 games, they beat the Knicks, and then they just beat the mighty Boston Celtics. Like, I mean, this is the only thing that can put the cherry on top is winning the championship. Like, yeah, it's crazy because I don't know how they're going to do this.
I don't either. I'm playing around, but I don't look at the matchups. I mean, if AD had a hard time with Jokic, what is Bam gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
And they have no size. Even they got worse size in the bench than the Lakers did.
I would assume they're just gonna run a ton of zone and just double and rotate and just rely on their guys. But, yeah, this definitely gonna be a tough NBA Finals for the Heat. But look, I want to ask you about the Boston Celtics really quickly because, again, their season's over in the conference finals. They have decisions to make. I mean, for some reason, people don't seem to care that Jaylen Brown's eligible for a $300 million extension. I do. Do you think the Boston Celtics should pay him? And if not, what route should they go? Because clearly they're missing something. I mean, we could blame it on Joe Mazzulla. We can blame it on the ankle roll or whatever, but they were down 3-0 before Game 7 even happened. So there's something fundamentally wrong with this basketball team. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like they need some like on-court leadership, like in the form of either a point guard or something, like some kind of OG or something. Al Horford tried to be that, but then he'd be getting tired, he'd be getting worn down. he actually was kind of like coaching on the sides. Like I'm still not 100% sure if Coach Joe Mazzulla is out the woods. He looked like he was probably going to get fired if they got swept. But since they rallied back to make it to Game 7, I don't know, we'll see. But something's got to give.
It does.
I don't think they're going to pay Jaylen Brown. I don't know what's going to happen. They might have to trade him because it's an extension. I don't think he's a good free agent.
It's an extension, yes.
Okay. So he's still under contract at least another year. I think they're going to have to trade him. I do.
Wow. I agree. Unfortunately, I mean that's a lot of money to pay to your second.
And he's been kind of acting up and talking crazy this whole year, like kind of acting like he don't like Boston. He don't like the vibes there. And ever since they put him in the trade rumors for KD, I think he's kind of been salty. So I don't know. Feel like he ready to move anyway.
Interesting.
Trae Young for Jaylen Brown. I'm calling it.
I think he wants to play with Trae Young in Atlanta. He's an Atlanta boy.
Yeah,
he's trying to come home. So
I could see that. I could see maybe something happen with the Warriors. They got to trade a couple guys. Jaylen Brown went to college out there. So
okay, yeah. Joe Lacob is gone though. So who's gonna broker their deal? No, just fine.
Joe Lacob is still there. Bob Myers is gone.
And I'm sorry, Bob Myers. Yeah, and until the end of June, then Bob Myers is gone. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's talk about the NBA Finals. Like I said, as we're talking, the NBA Finals start tomorrow. Game 1 in Denver. Miami bossed up and was like, "Yeah, we already bought our ticket to fly to Denver right before Game 7," which is hilarious. But it's like you said,
typical
man.
Pat Riley thing.
Of course, yeah, of course. Only bring one suit, motherfucker. This is gonna be tough. Miami is overmatched, but I've thought that in 2 out of the 3 series that they played, and they're here, and the other teams are not. So, can you convince me that the Miami Heat can win a game?
the way Denver is playing and their chemistry and like how locked in they are, I don't see it, bro. It look like it's their time, it's their year, and I just don't see Miami having the horses. I know Jimmy gonna give him everything he got. Some of those guys they got gonna get hot, maybe win them a game or two, but I think the altitude in Denver is going to be a factor. I think the fact that they played 7 while the Nuggets only played 4 is going to be a factor. If it turns into any kind of longer series, the Nuggets are going to be more well rested and equipped to deal with that. I just don't see the matchups. I don't think that zone is going to work. The Nuggets got too many shooters. I mean, Jokic can make it from anywhere on the floor. He give him the ball at the nail, he's going to tear up a zone.
Yeah.
I don't think they have nothing for Murray either.
Yeah.
So this is problematic for them. I think Aaron Gordon's going to do his best he can on Jimmy Butler, and they're not really worried about Bam like killing you offensively.
Right.
So I don't see the offense for the Nuggets. I don't see the defense. The offense for the Heat. I don't see the defense for the Heat. So like both ends, I would not be surprised if this is a sweep and it's like ugly.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat make this competitive because somehow they figure out a way. I don't understand it, but I gave up trying to understand it a couple weeks ago.
So I honestly tend to agree. I mean, I think
you see how big of a favorite the Nuggets are for game one. It's like a 9-point favorite, 8.5-point favorite, something like that.
Wow.
Like the line's already expecting a blowout for game one. Like I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I think I respect the Heat like to make them some close games, but I got to see it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Bam is going to get he's about to set black people back 100 years for suspended. Like Jokic is finna put on a display. Like I'm talking 40, 30, and 20. Like it's finna be nasty. Look, man,
I just feel like this is the Jokic kind of presentation. Like it's just his showcase almost in a sense. Like here you are, showcase that you're one of the greatest big men of all time because you have the floor and nobody can really guard you. Put on your like Hakeem just roast them performance, or it's just like, man, y'all remember 20 years ago when Jokic just made Bam like cry and go to the locker room? I don't know.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough.
I mean, he had AD like sitting there in after game 4, just in the locker room, just like he couldn't believe it. He just like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, and AD 6'11".
I was kind of like that too. Yeah. And AD he didn't, like I said, he got dominated, but it wasn't like he just didn't put up any kind of performance. I don't know. Jokic is something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Nuggets in 4?
Huh?
I said Nuggets in 4?
Man, I'm gonna say 5.
You don't think they'll get swept?
But no offense to Miami, I just don't see it, man, and I don't know.
It'll be funny if like the next time we talk here, it'll just be like, yeah, Miami, they're up 3-0.
Miami is just the greatest underdog story ever.
Right.
Playoffs, and they just
tell you it's destiny. Do not count the Miami Heat out. I mean, look, it's going to have to be a combination of Denver shooters just being cold because they took 13 days off or whatever.
Somebody getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we don't wish that, but yeah, I mean, if somebody does get hurt, like sure. I mean, and like Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, Hightower, Strus, like all of them guys, Caleb Martin, like they're all just going to have to like play out of their minds, which they've kind of been doing this entire run. So
Tyler Hero might come back too.
That's not going to matter. But yeah, Tyler Hero might come back in game 3. So yeah, man, I mean, this is just going to be either really ugly or really interesting. I'm not sure there's going to be like a competitive, well, maybe there will be. I don't know.
How do you think like the NBA and ABC, ESPN feel?
Yeah. That was also a big conversation. A lot of people are saying that the casual fan is not going to watch this NBA Finals because there's no LeBron or there's no Lakers. There's no big name market here. There's no big star. Yeah, there's no Steph. I mean, if the casual fan doesn't want to watch this, then they're just stupid. And I don't know how else to put it. I mean, the Nuggets are a great team. Jokic is a great player. Is he saucy or whatever the fuck the kids are saying? Like, is he like super cool to watch? Probably not. But he's one of the best players. I think so too, but I don't think the casual fan thinks that. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Nuggets get 10 games a year on national TV when he's been a two-time MVP.
You know,
So
they've got a local TV problem too, like one of them Bally Sports deals, but not a lot of people has it in Denver. Like they've out of the league, they've got like the worst local television ratings, or like some of them anyway, like bottom five. That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Win the championship and nobody even watches it in Denver.
Yeah, they got to change that. But yeah, I'll be watching, but like I'm a diehard NBA fan, so like it's not going to impact my viewing experience at all. But I could understand how the casual would be like, I'm not watching this shit. That's honestly how I feel. What do you think?
Right. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, unless it's by game 4 and it's like a competitive series, then I'm sure the ratings might turn up, go up more and more.
Right.
It's something about like having like even though he's European, like a white star that maybe could have some appeal to the casuals and everybody out there.
Yeah, it's possible.
And yeah, Jokic, I mean, he's a hell of a player. I know I keep saying it, but like he's exciting. I mean, he's got a crazy pass game and all the little subtle things he uses his size, like real down low. I think he's holding AD. He's learning some Draymond tricks out there. Yeah, how he hits crazy shots, kind of like a goofy dude out there. If he was probably like more out there in the media and like care about his brand and his image, that would actually probably help the NBA and the Nuggets more to help push him.
Probably, but he doesn't give a fuck.
Nah, he gonna win a championship and be out there in Serbia riding horses by the weekend.
No, you're 100% right. Like this nigga's like, all right, brother, I'm out. Like,
right.
I'm going home, feed my horses. Jokic is hilarious. Yeah, man, that's it. NBA Finals start tomorrow, guys. Oh, wait, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, what about touch on a little bit about the Bob Myers thing, but isn't that a kind of a big deal? Like,
yeah, I think so. I mean, like if you look at what he's done, I mean, I think the first order of business was drafting Draymond in the 2012 draft or whatever it was.
Clay and Draymond in the same draft. No, Draymond and Harrison Barnes same draft.
Yeah. I mean, drafting Draymond, championship, traded for KD. Championship, hired Steve Kerr, like he's had a hell of a run there. And I mean, even Draymond's come out and said like it is going to impact my decision, like in free agency or with his player option. So
I kind of feel like Draymond is like, I kind of like feel like it's 50-50. Like he might, opting out and going somewhere else, or they might trade him or something, or he might be back with the Warriors. It's probably 50-50. I don't really know what they're going to do.
Which is
I feel
crazy.
like something's got to give, like between Poole,
him and Poole,
Draymond, and Klay Thompson, slick. He getting paid too much to just be kind of a average player out there. So be interesting, man. I think on the last pod, or one of the last ones, I kind of predicted that he was going to bounce because of all the tough decisions they got coming up. I think that's what it is, man.
Yeah, you're probably right, honestly, because I mean he's gonna. I mean, if he would have stayed, he would have had to make some uncomfortable phone calls to probably Draymond or Clay or Jordan Poole or Steph. Like, hey Steph, I'm sorry, but Draymond's gone. Like,
we got to rebuild a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, this nigga says somebody else's problem. One last thing I do want to touch on before we get out of here: the San Antonio Spurs lucked up and got the number 1 pick, which is of course going to be Victor Wembanyama. I think this is the perfect spot for Victor to launch his career alongside. I mean, look. Whether Greg Popovich coaches 1 year or 5 years with Wembanyama, I think being in that organization with guys like R.C. Buford and Tim Duncan, having fucking Tim Duncan at your disposal is always going to be a great thing.
Who's probably going to be the next head coach. It looked like he's getting groomed under Pop.
Timmy?
Yeah, he's been like the lead assistant the last year or two.
Okay.
Once Becky Hammond left.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So yeah, man, give me your thoughts on the Spurs winning the lottery. I know Pistons fans are pissed off because they sucked all year and they got the 5th pick. But
yeah, they went from 1 to 5. That's tough.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, man. What do you think, man?
I mean, like you said, an amazing spot. That's kind of where I wanted them to go. I'm a little worried, a little bit selfishly, that they're going, be on that load managed bullshit and be kind of rolling them out slow. Which I kind of get it, being 7'5", 7'6", kind of, you don't really know how that body's going to handle a full NBA season and all the rigors and all that. So, man, I'm rooting for this kid hard. I hope he meets the hype or sees the hype and is everything everybody wants him to be, because seeing somebody with this type of skill at that size, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It is.
So I'm excited to see him in summer league, hopefully.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully, yeah.
it's interesting how the draft shook out too. Hornets number 2 and the Blazers number 3. You got to figure Dame is pushing hard for them to trade that pick.
100%.
But I don't think the Blazers want to do it. So it'd be interesting to see what they do.
I'll trade his ass.
Yeah, that's another one. I think it's going to be a lot of. I mean, it seems like every year, where there's free agency and trades, it's just something. Yeah, it's just stuff you don't predict a year ago that the summer just ended up being crazy.
Yeah.
But before the last thing though, did you want to touch on any of the coaches? There's a lot of coaches the carousel out there. I mean, we'll see how much it matters. But I'm interested in Nick Nurse to Philly. I think that's an interesting move there for him.
It's so funny because like a lot of Toronto Raptors fans think that Nick Nurse is going to run Joel Embiid to the ground because he plays Pascal Siakam like 45 minutes a game, like Fred VanVleet like 40 minutes a game. So they was
fuck it. It's his prime. It's time to win something, man.
I agree, but with Joel Embiid's injury history, especially with his knees, I don't agree. Like I don't think you can be running him out there for 42 minutes a game in a December regular season game. But that's just my opinion. But
I saw their link to Fred VanVleet now, which makes sense. I kind of was liking him with the Lakers, to replace Russell as a possibility. I don't know if he asked for too much money though.
I don't know, man. I'm personally not a huge believer in VanVleet. I do think that he's had some good years in Toronto and that he's worthy of the contract that he has currently, but he was terrible last year. And I don't want him. Like maybe he was just, acting out because he didn't want to be there. I don't know, but I don't want that on my team. That's just me personally. But yeah,
and the Bucks got like a rookie coach, Adrian Griffin. We'll see how that works out. I don't know.
Yeah. So let's see. Monty Williams lost his job. Doc Rivers lost his job. Nick Nurse lost his job. Who am I missing? There's somebody else, I think. Oh, Coach
Wayne
Bud.
Casey.
Yeah.
The Pistons. He stepped down. They was trying to get Nick Nurse. They was trying to get all these guys that everybody want, but all the better teams are getting the better coaches.
Yeah,
so
of course.
End up with
Monty Williams.
Or Frank Vogel. No, I mean, Frank Vogel was a good coach, but
yeah,
we'll see.
You're funny. All right, man. Look, appreciate it. Hopefully, next time we talk, Lakers. No, just playing. But yeah, look, great fight, man.
Yeah, man.